I'm so thrilled to share this evening. We've talked about it. There's been so much great anticipation. The energy of the room is just way off the charts and very different than what I'm accustomed to, so I'm super excited. So I thank you so much for being here. So I know that most of you are away from your belongings. I get it. I know most of you are away from your belongings right now, but I would really appreciate it if you would check your phones, unless you know absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt that you've already silenced your phone. It happens almost every ceremony that somebody's phone goes off. And when you're in the middle of a meditation, it's a little bit disconcerting. So we're going to be doing a singing bowl sound bath tonight. Can we see a show of hands who has done a singing bowl sound bath before? Ooh, okay. I'd say a good third of the room, maybe more, so awesome. Glad you came back. And so for those of you who have not, for those of you who have, forgive me, you're probably going to hear some intro comments that you may have heard before. So if you wouldn't mind just bearing with us, we'd really appreciate it. The bowls that we're using tonight are tuned to a frequency 432 hertz, which is it will move your brain into a theta state, which is where you are when you're meditating or calming right before you go to sleep, that type of thing. So you're going to get really nice and relaxed and calm, which is wonderful for us, because that's one of the biggest issues right now that we have in mental health is stress. And if we can reduce our cortisol levels, we're doing really good. And science has shown us that in your sound bath, you're going to you reduce your cortisol levels 31%. That's a huge number. That's a very big number for anything scientific. So prepare to relax. With that said, many people say, what if I fall asleep? And it's like, it's okay. It's totally okay. You're going to get the same benefit if you're asleep or if you're awake. The vibrations are the vibrations. The therapeutic value, the enjoyment, etc., is all going to be the same. However, oftentimes when people fall asleep, they have a tendency to snore. And I would ask you, if the person next to you snores, and this happens, I don't want to make anyone feel like they're a focal point or anything like that, but it happens in almost every class that someone falls asleep or someone's and snore, and it's okay. I take it as a compliment. However, it can be a little bit disruptive. So if the person next to you is snoring loud enough that it might be disruptive, I would just ask, would you please just reach your hand over and just touch them? This is not appropriate, but if you could just gently, lovingly touch them, that's usually enough to raise them up enough so that they're in a state where they're not in quite that deep. They're probably moving into a different brain state there. So anyway, that's what we're going to do if people snore. But just know it's perfectly fine to go to sleep. Every bowl here represents one of your primary 7 chakras. We have 7 primary chakras, which start, and the bowls correspond with the chakras. And this chart here helps demonstrate that. So the red is corresponding with this red bowl right here, and that is your root chakra. That's the base of your spine and has everything to do with your foundation, feeling solid. I like to read this because I get insecure when I'm, believe it or not. But your survival, your stability, and that type of thing. So that's what we're dealing with the root chakra. So the next one is the orange one, and we are going to, that is the chakra that we refer to as the sacral chakra. That's one level up here, and it has to do with your movement and your flow, and that's enough said about that. There we go. I don't want to belabor this. The solar chakra has everything to do with your energy and your will. That's in this area here. And, and I'm giving away my cheat sheet. I was going to say, where's Katie? I'm giving away my cheat sheet. We talked about this briefly on the radio, yeah. So then after that, we are going to talk about one of my favorites, and that's chakra number 4, the heart chakra, which really doesn't need a lot of explanation. It has to do with relationships and your compassion and how you feel about others, and that's the green, always symbolized by the green. Chakra number 5 has to do with your throat area and this in here, this area in here, and that's the blue one. Your communication and tightness and that type of thing, which may manifest in your throat with a tight, sore throat or your shoulders. So anyway, that's the blue. The next chakra has to do with your it's called your third eye chakra, and it's in between your brow here, and it's going to do with seeing, intuition, inspiration, and that type of thing, and that's this chakra here. Number 7, ostensibly the top and last one, is what we call the crown chakra, and I love that because it's pure awareness, understanding, and unity with the divine. So, the very top crown chakra. And when we're closing up and having comments, I'll share some anecdotal things with you about the correlation and some things that we've experienced in the past that are just so beautiful. And I am remiss by not mentioning this bowl here. I'm a Libra. I like things balanced. And so I had the 7 chakras, which starts with the note C. It's C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And I was going, and I needed C. I needed a high C. So I was frustrated. I wanted to find just the right one. So I ended up with a xylophone. And so I got high C. So I at least could exhale. But when I was introduced to this bowl, this is a 528 hertz bowl, which, I don't know, does anybody do energy and frequency work here? No? Okay. Well, anyway, the 528 hertz has everything to do with DNA repair and healing. The 432 that most of the other bowls have to do with relaxation and that type of thing. I'm not going to tell you there's not healing involved, but this one is much more focused and directed at that. Alrighty, let's quit talking and move along here. So I would like for you, if you would, sit up as tall as you can or lay down as straight as you can. Either one is great. And throughout the ceremony, if you're sitting and you need to lie down, that's fine. If you're lying down and you need to sit up, that's fine too. It's you do you. Make yourself comfortable no matter what that, mostly whatever that entails. Make yourself comfortable. So let's start by taking in a deep breath. Breathe in. Hold it at the top. Take another sip, please. Hold it. And let's exhale deeply. If you would, breathe in deeply. Fill your lungs. One more little sip. Exhale. This is our last breath. Breathe in real deeply. Hold it. Now exhale loudly. Just find yourself relaxed. Let's start at the top of your head, if you would, please. And we're going to do just a little check-in. Let's start at the top of your head. Take notice of how you're feeling. How is your neck feeling? Is it tight? Is it loose? Is it happy? Do you need to turn? Do you need to adjust? How are your shoulders? Check in with your shoulders. Are they comfortable? Do you need to move them just a little bit? Adjust your arms as needed. Move on down to your back. Just take note of how you're feeling. How is your back? Is it comfy? Is it a little tight? Does it need to relax? Is it carrying a lot of weight? Let's move on down through your buttocks, your hamstrings, quadriceps. How are your legs feeling? And your lower legs. Are your feet comfy? I'm just glad you're taking note of how your body feels right now before we start our ceremony. Now take just a moment here and think about the fact that we are about to spend another hour together. Think about what your intention is for this time in your chair or on your mat. What is your intention? Are you here because you need to de-stress? Are you here because you want to spread more joy? Do you need to relax? Do you just need a few minutes away? Think about your intention. I'm going to begin with the bowls now, and what I would like for you to do throughout the remainder of the ceremony, as any bowl is being struck, listen to the sound, follow the sound, and then you'll need to chase the sound. It will seem like it's going away. Stay with it. Hold on to it. And then there'll be another sound. Follow that tone. Follow, follow, and then chase it. Continue that practice throughout the end of the ceremony. I'd like to invite you all to just wiggle your toes. Just wiggle your toes just a little bit. And if it feels good to you, wiggle your fingers with your toes. Let's slowly start coming back into the room. You might just adjust yourself. Maybe you wiggle a little bit in your chair. Maybe you wiggle a little bit on your mat. Now, whether you're in a chair or on the mat, I'd like to ask you to breathe in and slowly lift your arms up. Let's extend so much gratitude for this time that we got to take for self-care. And lower your arms, exhale. If it feels appropriate to you, go ahead and consider, as you were doing your body scan when we started this ceremony, we went top to bottom just to try to evaluate how we felt. I'd like for you to start thinking about that. Let's start at the top. Consider your head, your neck, your shoulders. You're observing any differences, good, bad, or indifferent. Not that we need to label them, just observe. Your back, buttocks, your upper leg, lower legs, and your feet. And consider your intention. Congratulate yourself for spending your time with a little bit of self-care. And if it feels appropriate to you, I would invite you to open your eyes at this time. If you're on your mat and you would like to, you might roll to your favorite side. You might push yourself up and come into a seated position. And just consider how you feel. I want to get feedback from any of you that would like to share anything about your experience. There you are. Anybody that would like to share anything about their experience? The first one is always the hardest. Yes, dear.
Some of the sounds kind of just vibrated any thoughts out of my mind. It just carried it with them. So that was kind of a cool experience. So some of the sounds just kind of carried the thoughts with them, and the sound just replaced them. So that was kind of cool to experience.
You're saying you felt it just kind of trailing off. Oh, the sound replaced the thought. That's big. That's kind of the intention, isn't it? Wow. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Anybody else notice anything? Yes, dear.
I think when you were doing the indigo.
Yes, crown.
I feel a pressure
Ah.
in my head and down my neck. And then I think with probably like the higher pitched ones, I actually felt a jolt.
With the higher pitched one, you felt more of a jolt? The
It was calling me.
the high C?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like a jolt. It wasn't a bad kind
Uh-huh.
of, like it was almost drawing me to.
Mm-hmm. We might look at those chakras and see what that has to offer you. Yeah. I know you're very familiar with those. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that, BJ.
I really appreciate it.
This is such an honor to be here. I am so grateful to you, KD, for allowing us this space and this time to share this experience. This is such an amazing place, and you just do such a beautiful work here. Can't wait to enjoy the beer after, too. Anybody else have anything you'd like to share? Yes?
Yes. When you were doing 2 at a time,
Harmonies, yes.
that was really powerful. Because I could feel it in both places.
Both chakras. Could you give us more, could you expand more upon that? I'm very interested in that.
Well, at first I was like, I wasn't sure if you were doing.
Can you guys hear her? She's saying that when we were doing harmonies,
I thought I was getting to a point where I was hearing the other one. Then I realized you were doing 2 at a time.
that's so beautiful.
And just like starting to feel them in both places. Because it helped how you, before, how you explained. It wasn't like I was trying to do that.
Mhm.
Like, oh, God, I feel it in my heart now. But just letting myself feel it. And then being like, oh, I'm feeling it here and here.
You know, it's really interesting that you're saying that, because my precious husband, Freddie, before we ever got started, suggested, and I forgot to do this, but suggested that before we ever get started, that we kind of focus on that, because it does help if you think about the chakras ahead of time, and when you're hearing the different tones, if you're kind of getting in touch with what part of my body is being, awakened, or where am I feeling this, and what's calling my attention, it's of interest. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Yes.
I cannot say that I felt it in parts of my body, but I did feel that as you were playing the bowls, I could see with my eyes closed like different colors, lights. Depending on where you were playing.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Yeah. That was what I felt.
That's not an uncommon thing to hear, but I've never experienced it, so I love hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was saying that she was hearing colors corresponding, even with her eye. She could see the colors with her eyes closed of the bowls we were playing. Yes. Ilsa, could you speak up? You can see the colors as well? I hear that almost every sound bath, and I'm a little bit envious because I've not experienced that, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm open to it. So, anybody else? Okay, well, again, let's give a big thank you to Katie. And namaste. Thank you so much for being here. So blessed. I am personally interested. I think we can always learn. Yes.
I'm just pointing out the spider.
Spiders are generally good things, so we don't get too alarmed. I'm personally interested in hearing things that you thought we should do more of, or things that you might like less of. And I would encourage you to go get, good for you. Thank you.